doing. HuK is a very good player, and so this is going to put him up to 6, 7, 8 gateways total. Still hasn't morphed these over to warp gates yet, but I guess he doesn't really need to. And these Phoenixes still coming over and harassing all these drones. If we look at the unit count, 39 drones against 45 probes. Going back to production now so I don't miss anything crazy. Spire going up for Habit. Glad I did switch back. Where is that Spire? Right here next to the natural expansion. He does have an Evo chamber and a Roach Warren up now as well, so he will be able to get a pretty good mix of units here instead of just Hydras like we saw so far this game. And just patrolling around the map, making sure Habit doesn't get too spread out with expansions all over the place. And check out where this Templar archive is for HuK. It is up on this ramp behind the destructible debris, out of view of Habit. So Habit most likely has not seen this yet. I'll just take his view here for a second. Yeah, definitely has not seen that Templar tech. He does know about the Dark Shrine already, so it doesn't really matter where that Dark Shrine is, whether it's hidden or not. He has not built any more Phoenixes either. He's just going to keep playing with the ones he's got. He has been, of course, building up his Tier 1 forces this entire time, and he does have 4 Templar out on the field now, keeping those upgrades going one after another as well. Don't want to lose these Phoenixes. Here they are. I'm going to count up the kills between these Phoenixes here. 6, 3, 6, and 6, 8. Wow. So 23 kills between these 4 Phoenixes. That's pretty damn good. And it looks like we got more Hydralisks, more Roaches. We got Roach Speed. We got Roach Regen. Well, speed and regen or actually burrowing and regeneration. I don't know. All the Roaches upgrades are pretty much bundled together now, where there used to be 3 or 4. Now there are only 2. There's the movement speed here and the tunneling claws, but all these mutas now out on the field going to be able to protect him against those Phoenixes finally to a degree. Phoenixes actually still do pretty well against mutas, but this number of mutas is easily going to be able to take out these 4 Phoenixes if he can catch them at a good spot in here. HuK has broken down the rocks here in the middle. Don't want to miss this. There's an air battle going up in the north, but all these Tier 1 units of HuK are crawling right across the middle of the map now to try and have some sort of showdown. All these Phoenixes coming now as well. Guardian Shield goes up. Great choice against all these ranged units of Habit. All he has is ranged units and just a couple of speedlings. Psystorm's dropping now all over the place, all over this bio army of Habit. And both players actually choosing to retreat a little bit. Now is not the time. HuK says he's going to warp in a lot more Zealots. After seeing the composition of Habit, he chooses Zealots, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. If he can get Zealot legs, I would like to see that, but he has not started upgrading that. He has not upgraded Charge just yet, but Charge Zealots are actually really good against both Roaches and Hydralisks, as it draws all the fire, and the Sentries and Stalkers in the back will be able to do a lot more damage. More Templar, of course, always a good choice. Looks like he did build another Phoenix there finally, and he's going to be making one more, so he'll have a pack of 6 Phoenixes to terrorize all these Overlords, take out these Mutalisks maybe once and for all. Look at how these Phoenixes fire. Isn't that just the craziest thing? They never stop moving, and these Mutalisks have to stop to fire. Basically every other air unit has to stop to fire, but these Phoenixes can just dance all the way around all day long and just take out Mutalisks no problem. Look at that. HuK only lost 2 Phoenixes, and Habit lost his entire Muta army there. Lots and lots of Stalkers on the field, lots and lots of Zealots. If we go check out the unit tab, it looks like we've got 18 Stalkers, 25 Zealots, 1 Sentry for that Guardian Shield, and 5 High Templar. Looks like he does not overvalue force fields too much in this matchup, especially against all these huge, well, not huge ranged units, but huge amounts of ranged units. Oh, look at these little changelings plopping down. Wasn't that cute? Little Overseer pooping out some changelings. Let's see if they actually managed to deceive HuK or not. And I mean, obviously this is a very good scouting method. You can just drop 1 changeling in a couple of different places all over the map. Oh, HuK is not fooled. He kills all 3 of them very quickly, and they do leave some nice purple slime there on the ground. Anyway, HuK on the move again with his Phoenixes. Will not relent on Habit. Habit, if we look at units lost, Habit's lost 65 units worth 4875. HuK has only lost 12 units worth 2300, and that was just something like, and the Sentry was actually a big part of that, the very beginning of the game. And oh, looks like Habit's tunneling claws are done. He is going to be scooting around with these underground Roaches. These actually are great for these Tier 1 units of HuK, because they can get right underneath that Tier 1 army, pop up, and draw all the fire. while these tons of Hydralisks are able to do the rest of the work. HuK on the move again across the middle of the field, and saw something he didn't like, or maybe, you know, he's not quite at 200 food yet. Maybe he is waiting for that, but he has a probe, somehow snuck a probe all the way into the main of Habit. But back to production tab, I don't want to miss all these upgrades going on for both players. Lots of High Templar coming in now for HuK as well. He really wants to see a bunch of storms. And it looks like Habit has finished his second expansion, his third hatchery, and needs to start saturating that quickly if he's going to be getting any benefit from it. But HuK almost up to 200 food now, gonna be moving quite soon, I'm sure. And a benefit of having all these High Templar, of course, is that after you storm the hell out of this Zerg army, you just make a bunch of Archons to draw the fire for all these tier 1 units. And you know, Archons, a lot of people don't really like them, but I've seen HuK use them a couple of times with some pretty good effect. I mean, if you have a couple of Archons mixed in with this huge ball of tier 1, I'm sure it does nothing but help. And here the underground roaches are spotted. There is an observer in the field for HuK, and all these Psy Storms going down on the burrowed roaches. They have good regeneration, but not good enough against all these units pew-pewing away at them. And looks like... Ooh, I don't know who to give the edge to. And here are these Archons I mentioned a second ago. It looks like Habit is going to be able to draw... Actually, oh, look at these Stalkers playing soccer with the Archon ball there, and the Archon does spawn. He is actually gonna see he can tank quite a bit, and all these Stalkers were able to kill off those roaches while the Archon was trying to shoot and keep himself alive. But all these Phoenixes coming now, lifting Hydralisks. HuK still just cranking away units, cranking more units out of his warp gates, while Habit is trying to produce his army back off of 3 hatcheries yet again. And so HuK actually, you know, didn't really get to strike a killing blow or anything, but I think he did come out pretty good there. He even has an Immortal now out on the field, a couple of Immortals, Phoenixes. He's got a really good mix of units here against pretty much just Roach Hydra from Habit, and Habit is at 1-1. If we take a look at the upgrades for HuK, he's at 1-1-2. His weapons are superior, and his shields and armor are even with Habit. Actually, Habit doesn't have any shields, so HuK is ahead on shields as well, if you want to put it that way. But back on the production tab, looks like more Zerg missile weapons. Level 2's coming out, a bunch of Roaches and Hydras. Looks like HuK is just macroing up, got that other Nexus down finally, and is going to start putting down some gas to keep up production of all these Templar, Immortals, Phoenixes, and what have you. And it looks like Habit has just one Lonely Spore Crawler there for detection and anti-air. Back at his base, he's got 2 Evo Chambers, his Spire still just chilling, not really doing anything. Pretty much just Larva Injection, Hydra, Roach. That's all Habit seems to be focused on at the moment. Larva, Hydra, Roach. Larva, Hydra, Roach. He's got, you know, almost max food here from his Overlords, and these Phoenixes have pretty much given up on sniping them. So Habit gonna walk into HuK's territory here. It looks like HuK is gonna be able to defend his turf with these High Templars, dropping storms all over the place, and this just huge massive Stalkers. Again, these Phoenixes come in to start lifting Hydras. Gotta love seeing that. Phoenixes are just so good. I remember at the beginning of the beta, no one even wanted to use the Phoenix. It had some ability in the alpha, like overcharge or something like that. I'm not even sure what it did, but people were just whining about how they took that ability away, and now look at them. They just fly around, and other air units can't do shit about it, and they just lift all the ground units so they can't do anything. They're really pretty amazing. Look at how 4 units just nullified completely while these Phoenixes just keep lifting them, and you know, these Immortals can't really hold up to all this Hydra fire and Spinecrawler fire, but still like to see them still like to see them as a counter against these Roaches. So all these Stalkers, Archon and Immortal, it's really just a great back and forth here, but the MVP of this whole game seems to be these Phoenixes. They've killed tons and tons of drones, lots and lots of Overlords, putting Habit behind early. They're lifting just tons of units here during these skirmishes, and this pylon right here of HuK seems to be the only thing he needs to just keep his front intact. You know, he can warp in units while fighting even, and Habit forced to bring in units from all over the place. He's trying to drop this hatchery over here way at the bottom of the map. You know, Habit might, he is almost mined out here at his main. I think HuK might as well be, yeah, he's out of gas and on his last little mineral patch. So HuK walking around again here at the high yield just to make sure Habit isn't overextending again. Actually, oh, he might be setting up some kind of flank. If he comes over here and starts fighting these, he is going to be able to warp in. Yep, there's a ton of units coming in from that pylon there, all Zealots, but still, flank is a flank, and he is going to be able to drop storms to basically push these Zerg units where he wants them. And I don't know, I just really like HuK's methods here. I would love to see Zealot charge on these guys. He's made so many of them throughout this game, and it's only a 200 upgrade, worth just a ton. But here, HuK is finally pushing in without much resistance, and finally killing off all these static defenses of Habit. He is going to be able to take out this hatchery without too much more effort, and all these drones trying to stay alive, actually trying to tie up these zealots while the roaches scoot into position while underground. Don't know what they're going to be able to do. More Archons coming in. They do pop up and kill one, maybe two Stalkers, maybe even get this Immortal before the roaches all die, but this hatchery is now